those who possess it are able definitely and completely to dedicate it to the common good of all mankind. Anything else is going to simply make life difficult for themselves. So wealth is not a reward for wisdom. It is usually a reward for selfishness. And nature does not agree to this. And so in one way or another, it is forever penalizing those who break the rules. Another type of thing that we could use, perhaps with advantage, is the idea of living in honor with family. Honor the father and the mother. This is, of course, practically ceased in a highly intellectual civilization. No one has time to honor anything. Only time enough to remove all possible obligations and responsibilities and live as free as they can. Therefore, family, for lack of that, for lack of the little horseshoe nail, the nation was lost. Because, as Confucius points out, when the family fails, the entire empire is ready to collapse. So as more and more homes fail today, more and more troubles accumulate. Juvenile delinquency, crimes of all kinds, vicious misuse of funds, all these things, unreasonable fees for various services, all represent the failure of ethics to control. When ethics fails, evil moves in, and everything that is corrupted ethically will ultimately corrupt the society to which it belongs and fall in dismal failure amidst its own corruptions. So, the old rules were tested by the trial of ages. They were not brought down by some small group of superior persons. They were part of the human experience. Now, we have built ourselves now one of the most intimate human experience situations that it is possible to imagine. It is becoming obvious that human experience is telling us that we're in serious difficulties. Now, this does not mean that every individual is going to be destroyed by the common troubles of his day. The Scripture also tells us that though thousands can fall on the right hand and thousands on the left hand, the just man shall not be moved. If we are right, we are protected by the one armament that will hold, rightness. If we are right, we will achieve what is necessary, and we will arrange or set the foundation upon which our future embodiments will function. Now, if we could hope, as the materialist does hope, with very little scientific proof to support him, that when this world ends as far as we are concerned, when we come to the end of this small span of life, that we shall cease to exist forever, that no one will ever know or care what we did, and we will never know what happens to the world we leave behind, because there won't be any more of us. This is comforting to the individual who believes that in this way a bad conscience can be absorbed into oblivion. But we are not sure of this. In fact, it is becoming more and more reasonable to assume that the human being is a reincarnating creature, that he has lived before, and in the living before made some progress and some mistakes, and he will live again to make some more progress and correct a few mistakes. The whole situation, therefore, rests upon a different foundation. The individual is never going to escape the weaknesses of his own nature except by correcting them. Now, the philosophical insights do not warn the person that a terrible perdition awaits him. He is not going down to some horrible inferno to be tortured to death forever, while glorious Christians on a bridge of love wish him luck. The situation is not this at all. The individual will have to face the consequences of what he's doing now, and death is not going to end any part of his inner life. His inner life is a stream flowing from embodiment to embodiment, and to the degree he unfolds and strengthens it now, he will have a better time. And the improvement will begin now, but will not end now. And the achievements that we make in the terms of dedication and integrity will be with us forever, because we have lived better. And because we have lived better, and because we are better people, a better world will slowly emerge from this confusion. A world which depends for its survival not upon scientific juggling of natural laws, but upon the integrities of people coming into birth with a firm resolution to get along with each other. Every form of intemperance, of intolerance, must be corrected in the individual. Now, if we suppose that we have some terrible catastrophe, a large part of humanity should be wiped out. Well, the real answer to that is that nothing is wiped out. That the individuals who apparently leave here will be somewhere and will be back in due time. And they will live then according to what they did to cause the trouble or what they sacrificed in the hope of curing the trouble. The individual's integrity is his only security. It is the only thing that can surpass in strength and significance the small laws of security which we have in this world. So I like to think that in the new idea of humanism that we will have one humanity functioning forever, or at least for all available reportable time. Nothing is forever except foreverness itself. But for ages to come, humanity can be a great unfolding motion through space, in which a divine creation, gradually becoming inwardly enlightened, can build for itself a future in harmony with the will of God. These things can happen, but we have to use whatever means we have to make them happen. We know, for instance, that most people have a tendency to be good-natured, and that the majority of them assassinate this tendency every day. They do something that is not pleasant, not kindly, not charitable. In this quiet charity of ours, jealousy pops up, and we're sorry afterwards, but we said a lot of mean things, and as one told me, I'm sorry I said them, but I'm glad the other person heard them. This is what might be termed the true Christian spirit. Then somebody else doesn't approve of something. Someone always disapproves of things we do. We have the wrong job. We wear the wrong clothes. We go to the wrong church. And somebody has to save us from this deadliness of our own inadequacy. So someone who doesn't know a thing about it will become a violent reformer. If by any chance we prefer our way to the recommendations that this other person makes, then the other person is righteously indignant. They have been denied the right to save us. And so another feud starts. Everywhere people get all worried about something. They're worried about the church their friends belong to. They're worrying about the race their children marry into. They are worried about the job they have. They are worried about the politicians they have and would like to vote for someone else. When they do, they'll keep right on worrying. So people are all upset. And the natural kindliness of the soul has no chance to express itself. This is the reason, probably, why monastic orders sprang up in different religions, and those who wished to live the good life simply separated themselves from society, retired into a convent or a monastery, and remained there, spending their lives in prayer and meditation. This sounded as though it might be a pretty good idea, but it was actually a failure, for the simple reason that these people gradually became useless. They did nothing for anybody except try to save their own souls, which was a mistake. The whole of humanity is built upon an idea of cooperative comradeship, everybody helping everyone else to fulfill their proper, reasonable, and honorable desires.